Hi there, Musiker-Board. This is AJ Brayman here at the Music Man Factory, starting off our tour here in the wood mill. As you can see, we've got a lot of wood, a lot of machines, and we'll go inside and have a closer look. When the wood's delivered to us, it's delivered in large boards like you see here. And they get cut down to size, glued up, and they start to look like this. You see, this looks like it's probably going to be, I'd say a Petrucci. And over here, we keep the wood sorted. Got different grades of wood for different things. Stingrays, Albert Lees, they're ash. They're sorted based on if they're going to be opaque or if they're going to be translucent. Obviously, translucent is going to have a nicer grain than the opaque, which gets painted over. So it's lots of maple or ash there. This looks like poplar for some Steve Morse. And this looks like some basswood. Here's where the pieces get glued up, clamped. Over here you can see it's a 25th anniversary or reflex guitar. You can see the mahogany tone block, the chambering that goes on there. Something similar happens with the JPX. They both have the tone block, the chambering, and they'll get a maple top also. We don't have anybody here doing it now, but they get tied down with those and they work on the binding there. So once the bodies are done here, they get delivered over to sanding. We'll go to sanding next. So here we are in the sanding department. As you can see, we use a lot of manual labor here. They use machines and they also use sandpaper in their hands with blocks. Here we're working on shaping the neck. Each neck, like you can see here, is done by hand, so there's definitely a human element to it. There's a certain touch that you get from the human element that you can't acquire from machines. So once again, it's a nice combination of using human labor and using the CNC machines to put out a very consistent, very, very accurate product. So from here, the necks and bodies go to the finishing department. This is La.
Fine, thank you.
We've got all kinds of different necks here. These are the all rosewood. They've got frets on them, but the frets haven't been dressed yet. They do the spraying, and the bodies get dried here in the kilns. Can't really take you into a paint booth, unfortunately. Over here, actually, here's a hot room. You can go in here. You'll notice it's definitely warmer. So they stay in here for a while so the finish can cure, can harden up. And the heat helps to speed up that process. Yes, Tangerine Pearl. We've got the Purple Sunset. This will be probably one of the last sterling silvers, as the silver sparkle has replaced it. We won't see too many more of those. So we're heading into the buffing department next. Buffing department's pretty cool. Once again, It's a marriage of working by hand and working with machines. First we'll see working by hand. As you can see, we buff it by hand. Several steps to get the finish just right, very glossy. This is where we've got a buffing robot named Ursula. Basically we use RFID chips to tag the instruments, and in here the buffing robot can read the chip, knows exactly what the instrument is, what the body shape is, and is able to buff it out with speed and accuracy. It's not able to get into all the nooks and crannies that human labor can do, but it does a good job for a basic buffing job, and saves us a lot of time, and it's very efficient. So that looks like a Petrucci body right there. We'll see what it grabs next, and it'll know right away what it is. That it's got different contours, different shape, and it's able to accurately buff it. Incredible. So as soon as this is done buffing this one, it's cool to watch it pick up the next one. Gonna get the outside edges here.
What changes did you have to incorporate to get the neck through body stuff working?
There's a lot of buffing by hand with those. So not so much this machine, but more of using machines like this and using humans to buff them. So now it'll pick up the next one. It'll read the chip, know exactly what it's got and what it's got to do, and it'll perform different functions than it did on the previous body. There it is, picking it up. Scanning the chip right there. And now it knows how to proceed with that body and what to do with it. Once the instruments are buffed out, then they're ready to go to the next department, which is going to be set up in electronics, where the instruments will be assembled, the electronics will be installed, and they'll be set up, fretwork's done. No hearing protection required here. So we'll start over here. This is our electronics department. In-house we do pickups, all the bass pickups. We do the Armada pickups, the MM90 pickups are all wound in-house. We make the preamps here, all kinds of stuff. You can see how the workstations are set up so they can bring the solder down, ROHS compliant, so we can ship anywhere in the world. This is also where they load pick guards for things like Albert Lee's, Silhouette Specials. Over here we've got set up where they put everything together. Basically fretwork's done over here, the pick guards and electronics are assembled over here, and the final setup's done here. And that's
final checkout.
Yep, final checkout. We do quality control here, and multiple inspections. Everything's inspected when it leaves departments, and that's about it.
AJ, thank you for the tour around the building.
Yeah, no problem.
Plenty of departments. Some of the stuff looks familiar to being out there. And in regard to soldering, you said you use one technique only to be able to ship worldwide.
We use one type of solder that's a lead-free solder, so it's ROHS compliant. We're able to ship all throughout Europe and the rest of the world.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.